Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Three-Quarter Time podcast. I'm Janus. I'm joined by Cookie and by T-Dub. Hopefully, you all had a sensational Easter weekend. Enjoyed it with family, with friends. Got some chocolate. Watched some football. There was a lot of blowouts this week, though. Um, Boys, how's your weekend?
It's good. It's good. Good Easter. Easter's a good time. It's a good time to be with, as you said, with family and friends. But on other news, we had a fastidious event happen over Easter, and it wasn't Easter Sunday. The great man Cookie has he's aged. He's a year older. Happy birthday from the
Yes.
weekend,
Yes.
great man.
Thank you, lads. The old 2-2.
Yes,
2 for 2-2-2.
Richie Benno, yes,
Two,
two
two,
for
two, two,
2-2-2.
Oh, yes.
It was a busy, very busy weekend. Easter Saturday was my birthday. Sunday was Greek Easter and normal Easter, and then Monday was my partner's birthday.
Bang,
I was busy.
bang.
Full on. I'm socialed out, ready to just record.
Oh yes,
Yes. Hang with the lads.
yes.
Bring them back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crisp. That's what we want.
Now, as we start every podcast, I'm going to take us back to a time. Well, here we go.
Whoa. Here we go. Really getting stuck into it.
Shucks, man. Oh, I thought I muted myself.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Put that on the airwaves,
I
everybody.
thought I muted myself. I have a mute button on the mic, but I clicked it twice. So,
Like,
oh, that was so
it's
funny.
like BT.
Oh, who was it? Buddy Jason Bennett in the VFL. Couple of years
Did he
ago.
let one rip the other day? Oh, no. Okay,
A couple of years ago. You just hear them commentating and then you just hear "Bleh" in the background. It's so funny. Anyway, I apologize for rudely interrupting.
All good. All good. I'm taking us back to 2016, round 5. Tim, do you remember what this game was? Out of curiosity? Give you a clue. One team won by 3 points.
2016. Is it the first game Poppy got Brownlow votes?
Correct.
Oh,
it is.
yes.
It's a phenomenal ball.
Oh, I'm so proud
Do you know
of
how many he
myself.
kicked?
He kicked 5 against the Crows.
He did kick 5 against the Crows. We're going 17-10, 112 to 17-7, 109 at the G.
Jeez,
Dubious free kick, but Poppy kicked 5 straight.
I'm impressed with that.
And at 23 touches, mind you. That's a game.
I remember them commentating, like, he's never had a Brownlow vote. He's getting one tonight.
Yeah.
Were they the only
Yes,
Brownlow
I
votes he
think-
ever got?
That's a great question. I am going to look that up. But yeah, that's the game. Shout out to Poppy. We love Poppy on this channel.
Poor
He is one of the boys.
Talk about a guy that was just fast. I remember going to the footy when I was younger, and I'd never seen a guy move that quick. Like his legs just move so fast. I'm sure he wasn't actually as quick as some of the other players in the league, but geez, his legs move quickly.
He has such small legs.
Good footballer. Good footballer, Poppy.
He played his role to perfection. He had 4 Brownlow votes.
There you go. And 3 of them were in
Right.
that game, weren't they?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
That's big.
There you go. Now, lads, what are some of the takeaways from the round just gone?
Key takeaways.
Win-
Collingwood are a
win by the
genuine
Pies.
threat.
Yeah, that's a massive win. They demolished Brisbane.
From
Put it
go to
lightly.
woe.
Yeah. Danger now. The Pies are coming very hard.
Yes.
And
What
the
do you
thing
think,
is,
Jonas?
they've got depth in there as well. Like you find that the Gurry's out, so all of a sudden Ned Long's coming in, and he's looking genuine in that midfield. And Dacos getting tagged and stuff that frees up Ned Long to do what he does. He played really well on what was it, Thursday night?
They got belted, the Lions.
Yeah, Collingwood were very good. The way they defend the ground is so good. I mean,
I
they
was
talk
also
about.
just.
Sorry, James.
Oh no, you go. Sorry, Tim.
No, you're right.
You go. I
You
was gonna
talk about
say-
them. Oh no, here we go. Really on
Bang!
fire today.
Bang!
It's been
No,
a
you
week.
go. You go.
I was just gonna say they always used to say like defend the minutes. You got to play the minutes to beat us. They defend the meters. The way they defend the ground is something to behold. If anyone ever gets a
Yeah.
look at a behind the goals camera view of how Collingwood set up defensively, it's actually phenomenal. The way they squeeze, it's just beautiful. Anyway, sorry, Janus, you go.
No, you're right. That's my fault. I was gonna say something just a bit more. We'll say a bit more broad. I was just shocked at the speed they use on the ball. Like they are lightning quick, and just how they
Yes.
can move the ball up the ground so fast.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
But the Lions, that is a wake up call in my opinion. It's a big wake up call.
It certainly is. It certainly
Who
is.
they got this week?
Yeah.
They got the Saints at Marvel. That's a big game.
That is a
St Kilda need to win that game.
They've got after their performance at Marvel on Easter Sunday, they'll be certainly looking to bounce back at their home patch.
Well, they can't dish up another open training session.
No, they can't. But I mean, the only thing with that is they did have an extenuating factor with that. They were playing against Jesus Christ arising back from the dead in Marcus Bontempelli.
Yeah,
Literally looked like JC and played like it too.
it's got the same amount of Brownlow medals as me. Isn't that right?
Go on, T-Dub.
Isn't that right?
Jesus
That is
was
right.
good though, the Bont.
It's got the same amount of
was
Brownlows as
unbelievable.
me. I'm sorry. I'm just a Crips lover. Well, I can't help
That's
it.
all right. You know what? It's good though. It's good to see the Bont first game. Like, I always get scared first game back for players, but obviously he was ready to go.
Oh yeah.
He kicked 2, had 30 touches. Like, he dominated.
It's like Will Day in
Absolutely.
round 0.
Yes.
We all know
How
that's
annoying is it? Yeah, I know. How annoying is it though that as soon as the Bont comes back, Darcy goes down? It's like, are you serious?
Luckily, he avoided the dreaded ACL.
Yeah.
But it's still a probably 3 month
Yeah,
3 month injury.
They reckon start of
Jeez,
the finals, maybe the end of the home and away,
Yeah.
best case.
All I can say is that did not look good watching that live, and it was also worse because they showed footage of the Darcy family in the rooms, and you just think, oh no, hopefully not another one, please, because Draper went down on Friday with that Achilles, and then you think about it, Brody Kemp the week before he went down with another Achilles.
Bang.
Brian.
So
ACL.
Brian got punched in the face. You know, he got the lights knocked out of him. So I wonder if they'll send Nash back to Ireland for that act. Just kidding. All I can say is there wasn't a lot of remonstration from Geelong players to Nash. So it was a football act. It's just like it wasn't off the ball, but he just knocked the crap out of him.
Are you saying you wanted more from the Cats players, Janus?
No, well,
you wanted to see a bit of fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't that because I don't think I saw something Sean Manor said. He was speaking to Triple M after the game, and he was defending Nash, saying there was like no malice in the act, because it was in the I mean, it wasn't like Barry Hall and Brent Staker where he just punched him off the ball. I mean, it was a contest, but maybe a little bit of remonstration would have been nice.
He went in stupidly.
It's just a poor tackle.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't even a tackle. It was a decking.
He'll get 3 weeks, maybe 4.
Well, he's been sent directly.
Yeah, but I think based on like the criteria, it's like 3 to 4 weeks. Best case. They might end up giving him 6, which would be stupid because he didn't mean it. But it is what it is,
But Grind going out will mean will be a strange impact on the Geelong team because he has played 76 consecutive games for the Cats. I can't really remember in recent memory a Cats team not having Grind Myers playing. Same as someone like Brad Close that just feels like they're in every team that gets released, they're always playing.
Yes, it's like Carlton and Mitch McGovern.
So it'll be weird. It'll be weird for him not seeing 32 running around, chipping it around.
Yes, it will be.
Good for the Blues.
Yeah.
Be good for the Blues.
Speaking of the Blues, T-Up, what are your thoughts? Are they back?
Nah. In short, I'm sorry. I know we're supposed to be getting headlines on this podcast, but they're not back. They've beaten West Coast, who were non-competitive, and they beat North, who were non-competitive. Look, to be fair, they did play well. I'll give them that, but do it against someone who can actually play football for at least 3.5 quarters and not one. Like, I was excited watching the game because I was seeing us kick. We kicked 13-1 in the second half until we kicked the last 3 behinds of the game. So we'll probably kick
Stop watching when they got a 3-1 lead.
We'll probably kick. Drop my pen. We'll probably kick 7 goals, 22 against the Cats this week. But
Yeah.
It is what it is. Look, good job. All you can do is beat who's in front of you, and that's what they did. They belted the living bejeepers out of North Melbourne. Which, Cookie, I want your thoughts. What is wrong with North?
Ooh, what is wrong with North? That is a question which years go by. I keep thinking that some clubs just are not wired for success. I don't know how it sounds, but that's just what I think. I don't honestly, if you put Geelong's team and you put them in North Melbourne colours, I think it would be similar. I don't know. There's just something wrong. I don't know. They're also very young. Look, let's talk footy. They're young. They'll smash out of the midfield. If they get smashed out of the midfield, their back line will get exposed that quickly. 75% of the forward lines in this comp, like they are done. Aiden Core, don't trust him. Griffin Logue, don't trust the bloke. Compton's looking good. When you got those 2 other weirdos running around and your deep back line, then you're in massive trouble. So honestly, and I don't know. Like, Nick Larkey missed that easy snap, didn't he? Like really early on, to put him in front or something. Like,
I didn't see a lot of the game. I only saw bits and pieces.
I'm pretty sure he missed it, and then Carlton kicked like 5 in a row or something, and then the game was basically over. Players like Nick Larkey have to be like leaders, like really good leaders, for them to even have a chance.
Yeah.
So that's where they're at, I think.
The first thing you said, like if they get beaten out of the middle, I mean, that's their one wood at the moment. And they didn't have a one wood last year or the year before, but they at least have one now. And we saw that against the Dogs and against Melbourne. But basically, if you can beat North, if you've got a good midfield and you can beat North out of the middle, you're in for a good day.
Their defense won't stack up. Yeah.
You're in for a good day. But
Yeah. And you can kick goals on quick. Like you can kick 4 in like 5 minutes.
That's a great point.
Good teams stop bleeding.
Yeah.
That's a great point because, I mean, I also watched bits and pieces of the game, but it seemed whenever there was somewhat of, we'll say, like a midfield wrestle, when there wasn't goals getting kicked, there was possession based. As soon as Carlton got a goal, Band-Aid got ripped off, and they were hemorrhaging bad. Like Williams, how many did he kick?
4.
4. He genuinely probably kicked 2 and 2. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Like they were hemorrhaging.
They did the Dirty Dancing Titanic celebration. It was beautiful.
I did that.
It was so funny. Cottrell just.
Speaking of Sally's, you go, Timmy.
I said Cottrell just picked him up and he just stuck the arms out. So funny. Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of Sally's, did
Oh,
anyone
no.
see the Wiz get the Ja Morant out?
The grenade? Yep, I saw
grenade.
that live
No.
and I said, piss off.
Did he?
He
I
threw the
said.
grenade to the ground and put that. They were
Yeah, he
down
did
by
that.
like 2 goals as well.
Oh my word. Wizard, what are
McDonald
you
did a
Wiz,
doing?
save
similar-
it for a better time.
Well, McDonald did a similar celebration when scores were level. I don't really know what that was about. He did something like
Jesus.
that.
He's chucking grenades into the crowd at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
they smuggled in guns, so a grenade's probably the next best option to bring in.
Just
Oh, God.
what are they doing down there at Hawthorn? It's interesting.
I don't know. No, stop the Sallies, honestly. We got to win some games. And don't let the Sallies against West Coast, for God's sake.
They won't. They're not that stupid.
Like, I swear to God, if I see us pull our Sallies against West Coast and they're winning by like 20 points, I'm going to cry.
What if they're winning
Anyway.
by like 80?
Nah. You're not pulling out Sallies against West Coast. Just pump up the crowd.
Your premiership favourites, you should beat West Coast by 12 goals. And especially when they've just come off their most competitive performance of the year. Oh, actually, no, they were more competitive against Brisbane. Oh.
Nah, they were good. Oh,
Equal.
It was a mix.
Probably
Essendon
equal.
Yeah, equal.
Well, with Brisbane, they petered out. With Essendon, they threw it
Fall
up.
back.
They threw it up with the last 2 minutes. So yeah, coming off their most competitive game. Where's West Coast playing Hawthorn?
Marvel.
Oh, don't
The
tell me.
Slaughterhouse.
What a game.
Don't tell me.
Now, well, speaking of Marvel, there was a very good game at Marvel on Easter. What was it?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Geez, the Tigers, they preserved the Damien Hardwick curse.
They did it against someone else. They didn't just do it against Carlton. Yes. They actually played good football against someone else. Oh. I was so happy when Richmond won.
Oh, yeah.
I was so happy.
It was a good watch.
I'm like, oh my goodness, we're not alone. They're not going to have one win against us. They're going to beat the Suns, who, by the way, cannot win the premiership now because any team that loses to Richmond, North, or West Coast cannot win the flag. So Carlton, Melbourne, Gold Coast, you're done. Dunsky. Next year's your year, but not this year. Oh, it's just beautiful.
But
No,
just on that game, it was a really good sight because the tone got set really early when Lynch kicked the goal and he let Sam Collins know about it. And all the tempers, the fireworks started exploding. That probably indicated how Richmond were going to go into the game. And it looked to me, they absolutely enjoyed the fact that it was a competitive, contest-based, tackling-based game. They look like, compared to the Suns, Richmond were enjoying it. And especially because they were a young group. I think they're like, well, let's have fun here, boys. And they did.
Suns do have a good midfield. I think it's more that Richmond just flood back and then they slingshot forward. And then good teams defend that. But like, I think it's more because Gold Coast are a very good contested team. I think it's more that Richmond just love getting numbers around the ball in their defensive half and then utilising either a long kick to a 2-on-1 and backing in their small forwards. Because guys like Seth Campbell, they're quick smalls. Lynch is obviously a bloody giraffe. He's not quick.
Morris Rioli's got jets on him.
Yeah, and like Hugo Ralph Smith, like they've got leg speed. And that's what they did to Carlton. They just flooded backed in their contest ability in their D50, and then they just went quick and then scored, I reckon, 15 goals from the goal line or whatever it was. I know they only kicked 13. I'm adding Mayo, but it's the way they like to play. So to beat Richmond, you've just got to be able to win forward 50 stoppages, or you have a good defensive system that you can. And they were winning some clearances as well, which is what they did against Carlton as well. Now, the real question is, though, Noah Bolter.
Here we go.
What's going on there, Janus? Noah Bolter. What are your thoughts?
Well, the thing is, there's a football element to it, and there's a, we'll say, moral element to it. Now, Bolter pleaded guilty, and today I think the charge came out that he has to do community corrections, and he has a 10 p.m. curfew, and so he can't play any night games, and he has to pay about $3,000. But before that, I mean, he pleaded guilty, so he obviously admitted to what he did. It doesn't really send a good look for the club, Richmond, and the AFL, allowing a player who has committed a violent act and has pleaded guilty to it to, represent the jumper, represent the brand of the Richmond Footy Club, and represent the organisation of the AFL. But the sad thing is, I mean, he played really well, and to be honest, Richmond don't win that game without him because he kept King to one goal. And because of that, Richmond are going to feel vindicated in their decision to play him because, well, they won the game because of him.
Yeah.
So I think in a situation like that, where he is pleaded guilty, so he knows what he did, the evidence is also, I mean, damning. They probably got to they've got to take a moral standpoint because they're still representing they're representing a whole club. Like, do you want a criminal representing your jumper in an ongoing investigation? Obviously, Richmond said, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, he did his time. They messed up the court. They got delayed a week, which is why it all got out of sync. Like, he wouldn't have played, but the court was delayed a week, so they were like, bruh, and everything just got thrown out. It is interesting, but I guess now he won't be playing for the night games for the foreseeable future. He misses Melbourne this week, I believe.
And he's not allowed to go interstate either.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But the curfew only lasts until July 22nd, I think. So,
yeah, 3 months.
So, but Richmond don't leave the MCG for a month. And they've got a few marquee games on in that. So, yeah.
Bang.
But no, credit to Richmond. And credit to their experienced leaders. Like Nick Vlaston, geez, he played well. Toby Nankervis, absolutely. I thought he dominated in the ruck. So much so that when he was off for the start of the last quarter, Gold Coast kicked 3 back to back, and all of a sudden, game on. They were up by 40-odd points. And then Jacob Hopper and Tim Taranto, they played probably some of the best football I've seen them play. They were efficient. They were dominating in clearance, and they both impacted on the scoreboard. So their leaders stood up, and their young kids helped to back them up. So it was a good team win for Richmond.
Well said. Completely agree with that. They did.
Yeah.
But I mean, Vlaston, let's be honest, in the last 10 years, maybe a bit less. About 10 years. The best two mid-sized defenders are Nick Vlaston and Tom Stewart. Like, and we can go down that path. Like, who are you? If you're drafting a team, which one of those two are you taking first? It's a tough question because they're two like guns.
That is a good question.
Like, who are you taking, Nick Vlaston or Tom Stewart?
I mean, Geelong bias aside, I'll probably take Tom Stewart because he has been he can get thrown in the midfield as well.
Yeah, I'm talking as a defender.
Oh, well, I've
I'm
still got to
saying
go
if you
Tom
want to
Stewart.
lock down someone, Ryan Bloston.
But if you want a rebounder,
But if you want to
Go
rebound,
Stewart. Go
I'm going Tom
Stewart.
Stewart.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
If you want an
Ryan
interceptor,
Bloston was crazy.
yeah, he was so. I mean, he
He
still
was
is.
so good on the weekend.
He
Eh,
still is so good. Like he was so good when they were winning Premier. I mean, I know he's a 3-time Premiership player, but he basically didn't play in one of the grand finals because he ran into
It
Dangerfield's
was belly up
elbow.
his end.
But
Yeah.
Oh, true.
like he, I don't know if he's got any All Australians. Nick Vlauston, he doesn't. Whereas Stewart has
So underrated.
5.
Yeah, he's so
In about
underrated.
150 games too.
Hey,
Oh, Tom Stewart, he's got about 5 odd All Australians and only
170 games. Yeah,
170 odd games.
2-time best and fairest winner.
Um,
And Vlauston has played 239 games. He's played a lot of footy, Nick
One of those
Vlauston.
blokes that Richmond fans will remember forever.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's chronically underrated, Nick Vlauston. He's a gun.
yeah.
He's
What about
a gun.
the Dower game Saturday, the 4:40 slot?
Oh, the worst game
was.
ever.
The Adelaide Crows beat the GWS Giants 52-34.
Jeez, it was a slog.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was.
Jeez, Jake Stringer, how impactful was he? Just kidding. God, he was
What
he
actually
was
happened?
incredibly
I
ordinary.
watched the first quarter and I was just like, okay. And then I had to go somewhere. But I was thankful that I didn't spend time watching it. I don't know what happened.
Oh well, the thing is with the game, it was very like you said, it was Dower. It was a slog. I mean, the first half it was turnover city. Neither teams were efficient with the ball. Like Jordan Dawson, who's arguably one of the best kicks in the competition, he butchered it, for lack of a better word. He wasn't hitting targets. He was shanking it. So it was that was really emblematic of the game itself.
I win for the Crows, though. I'll
Yeah, it
take
was
it.
a very good win for the Crows. So it was just
Definitely take it.
he who had territory won, really.
Was it wet?
Intermittently.
Yeah. See, I didn't see
It
the
was
game.
windy as well.
Windy.
It was windy.
Oh, that's right. I remember reading about
there was a
that.
gale. There was a I say gale, but like
Must have been pretty swirly.
Yeah, it's swirly.
Lucky we had that weather this weekend and not last weekend for gather round.
True. But all I can say is with a game like that really shines a light on defenders. That was a defenders showcase of the defenders for both teams. I'm
going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What are some of the worst games of AFL you can remember after this game?
Wow.
Can you think of any just shocking games to watch as a visual?
Pretty much every Carlton game from 2014 to 2019.
I disagree. When the Hawks win by 150 points, it's a great watch.
Yeah. Nah, in all seriousness, it's been some dud games.
It's actually interesting because you just forget them.
I remember Sydney played Fremantle in a qualifying final one year. I think it was 2015. And I remember that game being an absolute dud. I'm looking it up on my phone now as I speak to stall myself. It was not 10-9 to 7-18. Like it was a close game, but it was a dud game. It was even the whole time. Like Sydney were 2-11 at halftime.
Yo.
I remember watching that. That was such a dour game. That jumps out. I remember Geelong beat North Melbourne and North Melbourne kicked 1 goal 8. Like 5 years ago.
The entire game.
Yeah. Oh, then during COVID, half the games were like that. But that's sort of an exception.
True. That was horrible.
Like so many of the games were like 4 goals 10 to 8 goals 12. I swear no one kicked straight in COVID. So frustrating. Yeah.
No one to kick to behind the goals.
Yes.
Mm.
But no, yeah. I mean, the Sydney Fremantle game jumps out at me. That's about the only
I
one.
like it.
Good
Oh, yeah,
question, though.
true.
You really put me on the spot. I tell you who.
That is a tough one.
It is a tough question. I've got a few dud games from Carlton games, but they're more just bad games, like us getting smashed. But I remember once we played Fremantle under the roof, and we had a little bit of hope going into the game that we might actually be competitive. And at halftime, it was 0-7 to 12-5.
I remember that. Was that the game where they were walking off and the fans were absolutely
Oh, my
giving it to
word.
them?
I remember
Like
there
crazy?
half the state. There might have been, I'm guessing here, there might have been 20,000 people or something at the game. And I reckon half of them were gone at halftime. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was sitting there with my dad and we were just looking and you could just see so many Carlton supporters just sitting there, not even like saying a word. They were just sitting there contemplating existence. And it was just like, oh my word. That was boring. Not really, but it was.
Comment if you're at that game.
Hey?
I said leave a
Comment if you're at that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, set us up on the social.
There's a few Carlton games that are real just bottom of the barrel stuff, like losing to the Hawks by 138 points on Friday night footy in 2015. That was, what did we kick? 411 or it was 411 35 to 173. Like we were just
it wasn't a Doway game though. The D's, they're back. Well, not back, but it was a big win.
They are back. The D's are
What were your
back.
thoughts?
Well, it was good seeing the midfield really go to work. They dominated centre clearance, the D's, and shout out to Harrison Petty, who he cops a bit of criticism, probably from both D's fans and just AFL fans, but he
Don't
kicked 4
upset him.
straight.
Did kick
And
4 straight.
he kicked 4 straight, and his second goal was a really, really good goal in the first quarter. So, yeah, Melbourne fans would be happy with that because all of a sudden they outscored themselves in the first half. Compared to what they've been. Melbourne's been a team probably at the start of the year that's been trying to win games by kicking 7 goals for a game, and they ended up kicking about 7 or 8 at a half, and all of a sudden you look, oh, this is great. Cozzy Pickett got got let loose. He kicked 5. He showed the pill to was it Josh Draper in the goal square? Probably showing off to his. He's probably showing off to his future employer, and when he goes over to Perth, he wants to say, "Look, guys, look what I can do. I can do this." Max Gawn played well. I was actually quite impressed with Jake Bowie. I found he was quite important, especially with getting their link up play from the half back line. That was a really good. The goal that Cozzy Pickett showed the pill to Josh Draper came from Bowie's work on the half back line. So there seemed to be a bit more team connection with the D's that has felt lacking this season.
I don't get the hype
on the
around.
Cozzy show off?
I don't get it, man. So
What's wrong?
I just don't get it. I don't get the hype around Cozzy either. Like Jeff Garlett, right? Now some of you will have no idea about who Jeff Garlett is, but he used to play for Carlton.
Jeffy.
He does. Played 107 games for Carlton. Kicked 183 goals. Decent career. Led the goal kicking once. He was traded to Melbourne for a 3rd round pick or something, of which I think it got passed. Like the Blues didn't even use it. Cozzy Pickett has played 109 games. He has kicked 168 goals. And it's rumoured that Melbourne want 2 to 3 first-round picks. So, do the math. Is he really that good?
All I can remember is he did nothing in that grand final.
Had 4 touches.
He did not touch the ball in that
Cost-
grand final.
Cost
He was
Cookie a 20
gifted a
grand
medal.
multi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we had a
wasn't me,
mate.
but my mate.
Yeah, we had a
He
mate.
did a massive multi, and
And
Cozzy
Cozzy was the only one
I
that didn't come through.
Oh
Jeez.
god,
But no,
that was
like,
So,
funny.
yes.
is he really as good as he is advertised to be? Is he really that good?
Speaking of, are they really
We'll
that good?
see. I like it.
Freo, are they really that good? People
Nah.
have been.
No,
They're
No.
cooked. They're done.
If they're fair dinkum, they have to win at Melbourne, and they have to win at the MCG, and they have to flog Melbourne.
Put a line
But-
through them now. They're cooked.
Yeah, they looked incredibly ordinary.
So good.
Sean
Sean Darcy got
yeah.
absolutely waxed.
Darcy got
God.
waxed, yeah. And
You see
Tracy-
him in the last 5 minutes of the game. It was abysmal. Gorn just marked
Gone
everything.
dominated. Big contested marks. Yeah.
I know it's Max Gorn, but still.
I mean, when it comes to red time for Melbourne, I mean, Max Gorn, he does lift.
Yeah.
But just on that, I mean, Josh Tracy also was held to a goal and 5 disposals. So it looks like if you can shut down Tracy, all of a sudden Freo don't look as damaging.
Tell you, he was damaging. Cats, the thriller on the MCG on Easter Monday. Now we'll go with the losers
Yes.
before we go with the victors. Cookie, your Hawks, give us a brief summation of the events that took place yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, full disclaimer, I didn't watch most of this game because I was busy. But from all accounts, there were a couple of things that were shocking. Hawthorn's turnovers from back half was abysmal. Now, this is interesting because last year, they did not give a toss what they did with the pill. I swear to God, they took on kicks that people wouldn't even think they were taking on. Now, this year, they're kind of doing the same thing. But it's just not quite working, I would say. It's not quite clicking as it did last year. So it's interesting. Like, if you're Sam Mitchell, do you tell them, keep going, lads, I'll back you in? Or does he say, think? Like Josh Weddle with like a minute to go. Whatever, when Sean Manor kicked that goal. Like, is that the right decision? Probably. He didn't execute. And that's the bad part. But if you're Sam Mitchell, do you keep saying to the boys, we know who we are, just have a crack, just trust your gut, and it will work out? I think you got to keep saying it to them because I think when the team starts thinking, not the most intelligent group of blokes, put it that way.
You think they play on instinct?
They are purely instinctual. Except Tom Barras, he is a philosopher.
Aristotle, I think they call him at the club.
Exactly.
Not, we'll bring it up.
What do you reckon, Tito?
I reckon Baras's heart rate wouldn't get above 40 in a game. I reckon he's that relaxed. I'll tell you who else is relaxed. Janus, the Cats had a great win. What are your thoughts on the Cats win?
Well, I was there, so it was a privilege to be a part of it. That's the largest Geelong home and away crowd ever, I think. 88-odd thousand.
Bang.
Dangerfield, jeez. He's loving his time up forward. He could he kicked 3 and he still looks so hard to play on. Genuinely, he's still so explosive. I mean, he's a big bloke. It's hard to tackle him. You can't get your arms around him. And he kicked 3, and he seems to be able to kick them when we need him to. But just on that, I mean, you touched on it, Cookie, with yes, the Hawks' back half turnovers were incredibly costly, but that's the forward pressure that Geelong brought just meant that those turnovers, that's where Stengel, Close, Manor, that's where they lurk in those sort of danger kicks, and they love it and they pounced on it. So yeah, it was just our forward pressure was up all game. It was a good midfield battle as well, actually. I thought Meek and Newcomb really got on top of us in the third quarter, but it was quite even, quite seesawing. Both teams had their say, in regards to dominance. But yeah, it was a ripping game to be a part of.
Straight up. Who plays on Dangerfield this week from the Blues? Who would you put on him?
McGovern.
Yeah, it's because you want him to
Is it
kick
McGovern?
8. Who's they got? Neil, Cameron. Waitering probably gets Neil. Just. Yeah, he probably does. And then
McGovern gets Cameron?
Silvani gets Cameron.
Yeah, okay.
And then
Well, it's McGovern.
Haynes probably gets Dangerfield. And then McGovern probably gets... Well, McGovern and Haynes probably get Dangerfield. They probably play like a zone and they rotate off each other. Yeah.
He's 35, the old Danger. He's just ticking along.
And he played like he was 25. But
I was going to say...
Probably one hammy away.
Here's a real question. How many birds will Bailey Smith use against the Blues on Sunday? How many birds will he flip off? So he whipped out 2 against Adelaide. He whipped out 1 against Hawthorn. How many is he going to throw up against
He's getting
Carlton?
cocky.
He's just
he's
confident.
He's going too early, the old Baz, I reckon.
Well, it's funny you say that because, I mean, at the game, I mean, it was funny because he had that altercation, air quotes, with Impey. And then all the Hawks fans started booing him, but I felt like he just fed off that. He strikes me as someone who really doesn't give a toss what people think.
Yeah, because he's playing well.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But it sounded like, well, it felt like the boos were only sort of encouraged. He was a bit like Novak Djokovic in that sense. You know, when I'm not comparing him, but I'm just saying when the negative...
I don't mind that.
When the negative crowd reactions sort of invigorate them a little bit. But I imagine the club internally probably won't be super happy with it.
They'll probably tell him to be himself, though.
Well, Chris Scott did say that they're going to embrace his swagger, but it might be a matter of telling him to rein it in a little bit.
Now, what are some best behinds in AFL history? We had Jezza with a phenomenal Suey.
The Ronaldo behind the...
Imagine if that went in.
The back. Jeez.
My word.
Jesus, that would be mental.
That deserved a goal. What are some other just great behinds?
Well, let me take you back, everyone. Let me take you back to 2010.
Here we go.
North Melbourne. They played St Kilda round 3. Now, North, they had come off an 100-point belting by the Saints. And Brent Harvey was tagged out of the game by Clint Jones.
Oh, that's a name.
So, yes. So when West Coast came to Marvel Stadium, well, Etihad Stadium, I think it was back then, or...
Etihad.
Was it the Telstra Dome?
No, it was Etihad.
North were looking to bounce back. Well, Brent Harvey, he receives the ball from the half back and he runs on the wing. And he takes one bounce. Takes another bounce. He sees he's got Matt Prittis on him. He says, don't worry. I'll take him. He takes a third bounce. Takes a fourth bounce. Takes a fifth bounce. Guess what? Takes a sixth bounce. Sells the candy to Darren Glass, the captain. Sells him literally into the next state. Sells him back to Perth. Takes another bounce. Unloads from about 45.
7 bounces.
Hits the right post.
I remember that.
That was nuts.
And so they call that point the point of the century. But that's not the only thing that Brent Harvey did that day. He had 44 touches and North Melbourne ended up winning 17-14, 116 to 13-13, 91.
Dang.
That's a blast from the past.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, if you're taking 7 bounces, you got to be feeling it.
Yes.
It's got to be your day.
Sounds like it was.
Speaking of bounces, Adam Sard is 3rd all time on the bounce list behind Heath Shaw and Brent Harvey.
Really?
Yes. Old Woofer.
Wow.
Heath Shaw. Jesus, he loved bouncing, didn't he?
Yeah, because he used to take kickouts.
He's got the weirdest running style, Heath Shaw.
Runs like a duck.
I was about to say he waddles along.
And then he waddled away. Waddle.
Waddle,
I
waddle.
tell you who's waddled away. That bloke that threw the fan at Aaliyah. What a
Oh,
goose.
yes. Jeez.
What an absolute idiot.
He is.
Like, seriously. You go to the footy, you pay your money, you can yell and scream what you want, within reason, obviously. But why the hell would you be that thick to throw something at a player? That's just so dumb. Like, moronic. Stupid. Like, was
Moving
2-year
on.
ban enough? I mean, I've heard people say it's only a fan.
16-year-old.
It's only like a paper fan. But like, who cares?
But still, the intention's there, though.
Yeah, like,
I
wouldn't
don't
matter
know.
if it was
Just
anyway.
stay in your seat, basically. Stay in your seat.
Just call it, as Aaliyah said, call him a bad footballer. Call him what you like. Comment on his footballing ability, fair enough, but don't throw stuff.
Mm.
Anyway, it wasn't the worst thing that happened on the weekend with a massive win in Europe. We'll jump on a plane. Janus,
Oh, yes.
take us around the world
Well,
in the world game.
I'm not going to be talking about West Ham because we were diabolical. Drawing 1-1 to Southampton. That's what I wanted to talk about.
That's beautiful.
Two teams in the championship that have secured Premier League promotion. So, we'll start off with Burnley. Burnley, they had a 2-1 win against Sheffield, and they have been promoted with 31 league games unbeaten, and they have only conceded 15 goals in 44 games.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah. So they've got one of the best defensive records in league history. And, so they got relegated last year, so they spring back up. And then Leeds, they smashed Stoke 6-0 at Elland Road. Their Dutch forward, Joel Pirro, he scored 4 goals in 20 minutes.
Jeez.
That's
Lewandowski.
That's a fair bang.
Yeah. And
That's
so
fair.
both teams, they end up on 94 points now, and they can't be catched. And Leeds were in the Premier League in the 2022-23 season. They went down. They lost in a playoff final to Southampton last year,
Oh, I remember that.
and now they spring back up. They spring back up with one of the best, we'll say, offensive records because they have been drubbing teams in the championship. They won 6-0 against Stoke. They beat some teams 7-0, 4-0. They've been winning big, while Burnley have been very miserly. So it's a real opposite end of the spectrum. So good for them
Yes.
to go up. Now, I think it's Sheffield, Sunderland, Coventry, and Bristol that will go into the playoffs
Bang.
to fight for that third spot. And it would be great if Sunderland could get back up because they have been languishing for literally years.
Bang.
So 2 Premier League promotions have been decided already.
Huge. Speaking of
I
playoffs,
like that, Jana.
Kawhi had a beast mode game today against the Nuggets, and the Pistons had their first playoff win since 2008. It's beautiful.
Bang.
Indeed, they did. The NBA playoffs are here.
They are. They certainly are. Magic in 5. But yes.
Imagine.
Off the Magic beat the Celtics in 5. Oh, my word. I get very excited. Speaking of very excited, it's time for the unsung heroes. Cookie, kick us off.
Yes.
I'm taking us back to Friday night. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this bloke because he can go hiding at the best of times. But when he kicks 6, we'll give him his flowers. Essendon do not win that game without 2 metre Peter, believe it or not. He was the only bloke doing anything down there for majority of the game. I'm gonna give my own son. No, you laugh, Jonas, but he
No,
got
I'm not laughing
dropped.
at it. I'm not laughing at it.
Yeah, I think we got to shout out to Meter Peter. Like, definitely gets rinsed by the public and his own team. And when his team needed him, mate, that bloke, when he's flushing him, kicks him like 70 meters like a dart. Like, he just bangs them through. It is great to see. And he was on McGovern as well. So it is West Coast, but McGovern was playing on for most of the game. So shout out to Meter Peter.
Good call. And he is definitely 2 meter. He's definitely 2 meters tall. I was at a cafe one time. And he walked past walking his dog. Jeez, he was hitting his head on all the awnings. He is a tall bugger. So it's not exaggeration.
Jonas, who have you got?
All right, I'll go. I'm actually gonna go to the dourest game of football we've ever seen. I'm going to the Adelaide Giants game.
Oh, bang!
Yep.
I'm going with Alex Neil-Bullen.
Oh, bang!
Ooh.
To me, he's just a workhorse, and it's there's a reason Adelaide got him in. He's a workhorse. He's experienced. He's got leadership qualities, and he's dedicated and he's committed. I feel like every contest that Adelaide had, he was in and around it, and he always presented as an option. Yeah, he injects a bit of calmness, I think, into the contest, and in a game which was so turnover based and just so scrappy. He had 85% disposal efficiency, so he was using the ball well in a game where you needed your best players to stand up and use the ball well.
Like a Jonas.
It's a good call.
Take up, round us off.
I've gone with a bloke who played in a losing team. Played on Easter Monday. I've gone with a Hawk.
No.
I've gone with Lloyd Meek.
Oh, yes.
Oh, bang!
He had 47 hitouts, 7 clearances, and
He
19
dominated.
disposals. That's a big game. That's a big game. Like
him and Newcomb especially lifted in that third quarter.
I have a soft spot for the ruckman, but he led all comer clearances, I think, and 47 hitouts is 47 hitouts. So shout out to Big Meeky on Make Monday.
I think it's his birthday today, actually. Shout out Meeky.
Oh, bang. Big Lloyd.
There we go. The birthday unsung.
There you go.
Come on the pod, Meeky.
Bang.
Come on, big man.
What are the votes?
Excremarian.
Big man who kicks 6, workhorse in tough conditions, or a big ruckman?
You know what? Pega 3.
Fair enough.
Bang!
6 is 6.
Pega 3, and then Meek did dominate. Meek 2, Neil-Bullen 1.
Yeah, 6 is 6. In modern footy, 6 is a bag. And yeah, the other 2 you could toss a coin, so I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Like it. A couple of big men this week. A couple of big boys.
A couple of big dudes. Speaking of big dudes, we've got some big predictions. I'll kick us off. I reckon the Giants, they're playing in Canberra this week against the Dogs. I reckon we're in for an old-fashioned touch-up. The Tsunami will not like their last couple of weeks, and they will belt the Dogs by 7 goals plus. Janus?
That's actually a good call.
I am going to the Anzac Day game.
Ooh.
And I reckon we're gonna have a classic 1-point game.
Oh, jeez.
And Darcy Cameron will win the Anzac Day medal. Pies win by a point.
Bang.
Nice,
Darcy Cameron will have 30 plus hitouts.
I like that prediction. I mean, Essendon don't have a ruckman, but yes, I like it.
Good call, actually. Yeah, who does ruck? Oh, Big Toddy's coming back.
Big Todd
Goldie.
Goldstein.
Isn't he
Look,
retired?
and it's fitting he comes back for the Anzac Day game because he was involved in the first landing on Gallipoli.
Isn't
Pretty
he
sure as soon as
retired?
the West Coast game finished, he was doing laps at the ground. Pretty sure he was doing run-throughs after the West Coast game.
Oh, bang. So
Yeah,
he's
so
still
he can,
playing.
yeah.
Oh my word, he
He's
is.
going to be playing, Tito.
He fought in 1914, so it's very fitting.
That is just disrespectful. But bang. Cookie, finish us off. What's your prediction?
I'm going Friday night. Oh, sorry, it's Thursday night. Believe me. Thursday night at the G. I'm going the Tigs to beat Melbourne by 4 goals. They're paying
Ooh.
$350, which
Oh, that's money.
they've
That's
won more
cash.
games than Melbourne.
Bang.
You know, mate, there should be underdogs, but $350?
Thing on Anzac
No,
Eve.
Noel Bolter, he's on bedtime.
We haven't had we haven't had like a
game.
this is the
Ages.
worst. This is the worst both Richmond and Melbourne have been since the Anzac Eve game has come in. Since like 2015 or 14 it started, and Melbourne was slowly on the rise with Paul Roos, I think. And Richmond were like playing finals and then started winning premierships, and then Melbourne obviously became really good. But I reckon this is the worst the two teams have been for a long time.
Hopefully that makes for a good game then.
Hopefully it makes it a close game.
I reckon the Tigs will get up.
We'll see.
Listen, they've got I'll say they've got a pretty good month ahead of them. There are a few games in there they can win.
Tigs.
Yeah, because they don't leave the MCG.
Speaking of winning,
Anyway.
thank you all so very much for listening. It's a privilege doing what we do. We love talking about footy and we love bringing you all our different opinions, whether they be accurate, data-based, or just purely from the gut. Thank you all so very much for listening. Have a great week, a great weekend, and lest we forget,